In the modern theater of geopolitics, where power is measured not only by armies but by influence, intelligence, and ideology, the world now turns its gaze to the Middle East once again. The headlines are stark. Israel poised to strike Iran. But behind this seemingly simple declaration lies a labyrinth of history, fear, ambition, and survival, woven through decades of conflict, covert operations, political maneuvering, and deep cultural trauma. For years, the Israeli government has warned that Iran's pursuit of nuclear capabilities is a red line, not a diplomatic boundary, not a metaphor, a literal red line, one which, if crossed, would compel Israel to act unilaterally, with or without global approval. That red line, many believe, is now behind us. Israeli defense analysts report that Iran is closer than ever to enriching uranium to weapons-grade levels. And while Tehran insists its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, few in Tel Aviv, nor in Western capitals, believe this claim. Within the fortified walls of the Kiryat, Israel's military headquarters in central Tel Aviv, the atmosphere is more intense than it has been in years. Reports from Mossad, Israel's secretive intelligence agency, have been flooding into top-level briefings. Some suggest Iran is dispersing components of its nuclear infrastructure deep underground. Others speak of increased Iranian cooperation with North Korea in weapons design. Taken together, the conclusion for many in Israel's war cabinet is unavoidable. Time is no longer a luxury. The planning has not been sudden. In fact, contingency strategies for striking Iran's nuclear program have existed in various iterations since the early 2000s. What's changed is intent. Now, according to leaked intelligence and off-the-record briefings, the Israeli government is not just preparing, they are ready. Aircraft are fueled, pilots are briefed, cyber units are on standby. The operation, internally codenamed Iron Horizon, could begin within days or even hours. But this is not a story about war alone. It is also about balance, and the ever-present danger of tipping that balance too far. Iran, a nation of over 86 million people, views Israel's aggression not as defense but as provocation. The Islamic Republic believes it has been under siege since its 1979 revolution, besieged by Western sanctions, vilified by global media, and isolated by decades of geopolitical encirclement. To Iranian leaders, a nuclear program is more than science. It is sovereignty, a symbol of power, a deterrent, a shield. As Israel finalizes its strike plans, Iran too is preparing. The Revolutionary Guard Corps has deployed mobile missile units across the country. Air defense systems have been repositioned. Cyber warfare divisions have gone dark. A sign, experts say, that offensive operations may already be underway. Iranian leaders have declared that any Israeli aggression will be met with earth-shaking retaliation. Targets include not only Tel Aviv, but U.S. bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar, perhaps even energy infrastructure across the Gulf. In Washington, D.C., the tension is almost palpable. President Biden, speaking cautiously from the Rose Garden, urged restraint on all sides. Yet behind the scenes, U.S. intelligence agencies are working overtime. Satellites hover over the region. Drones fly high above the Persian Gulf. Warships shift quietly into new formations. And on the ground, American troops in the region have been ordered to implement Stage 2 defensive postures, an escalation rarely used except in times of imminent threat. But the United States is walking a tightrope. Supporting Israel is a pillar of American foreign policy, yet public appetite for another Middle Eastern war is low, particularly after 2 decades of conflict in Iraq and Afghanistan. Washington has made it clear it was not consulted on any Israeli strike plan. It will not lead this campaign. But if Iran retaliates in ways that endanger U.S. personnel or interests, the response will be swift, and it will be forceful. Across Europe, reactions are mixed. France and the United Kingdom urge immediate diplomacy. Germany calls for emergency talks at the United Nations. Russia and China condemn Israel's intentions outright, accusing it of destabilizing the region for strategic gain. Yet beneath this diplomatic theater lies a more unsettling reality. Few global powers have any real leverage to stop what's coming. The world has seen this dance before, but never this close to the edge. The last time Israeli fighter jets struck a nuclear reactor was in 2007, when they bombed Syria's Al-Kibar facility. Before that, it was Iraq's Osirak reactor in 1981. In both cases, Israel acted alone, swiftly, without warning. And it worked. But Iran is not Syria. It is not Iraq. Its nuclear infrastructure is deeply fortified, dispersed across mountains, bunkers, and secret locations. Some are said to be buried beneath hundreds of feet of reinforced concrete. To disable them fully would require not just precision, but sustained, multi-wave attacks. Potentially even bunker-buster bombs. Possibly even nuclear-tipped options. As this specter looms, humanitarian groups brace for fallout, not just radioactive but geopolitical. Civilian infrastructure in both Israel and Iran is vulnerable. Hospitals, power grids, water systems. And beyond the battlefield, global markets tremble. Oil prices spike with every whisper of escalation. Stock markets slide. Refugee agencies prepare for potential displacement waves across Iraq, Syria, and the Gulf. The world is holding its breath. And in homes across Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Tehran, and Qom, families wait. They check the news. They charge phones. They send messages to loved ones. They pray. In Iran, some oppose the regime but fear foreign invasion. In Israel, others support deterrence but dread the horrors of war. And for those who have already lived through conflict, whether in Beirut, Fallujah, or Gaza, the headlines are not distant. They are memories, returning like ghosts in the smoke. There are no easy truths here. No single villain. No perfectly innocent hero. Just two nations, locked in a deadly calculus, each believing they are protecting their people, each ready to strike first in fear of being struck second. The countdown, if it exists, is silent, as satellites move silently above the earth, as drones hum through desert skies, and as the world watches with clenched fists and tight hearts. The edge of fire draws nearer. And once that fire begins, once a single missile leaves a launch pad, the story will not be about deterrence anymore. It will be about consequence. Chain reactions. Lives forever changed. History will remember how this chapter began, but the question still remains: how will it end?